Okay, so I'm excited to share this video with you. It's me working with Anshul on initially what he said was he wanted to be more consistent in his lead gen for his business. But you'll see within the first 5 minutes of the coaching, we discover that it's actually not about consistency. And you'll also notice in this video and then in the other videos that I release throughout the week, I continue to reframe his belief about not being a consistent person. One, because I recognized that wasn't really his problem, but two, I wanted to make sure that wasn't a limitation that he carried forward with him. In this session, in this video, these first 12 minutes, it's gonna be a lot of information gathering. One of the things that you're gonna see is that initially the client comes in, or the participant, whomever comes in for coaching, we're defining the solution we want based on the problem that we have currently. So one of the skills that I'm proud to bring to my clients is essentially that I can help them clarify what the goal actually is. Because sometimes when you're stuck in the problem, you need a change of perspective. For coaches, by the way, who are watching this, some coaches are watching this because they want to learn how to use NLP more effectively for their clients. I'm utilizing the self-concept model to change a belief about himself. I'm doing a lot of ericksonian hypnosis, sleight of mouth. I'll use his own self-anchors a couple of times as well. You'll also notice that I keep it light. I bring a lot of humor to the session because I think laughter is very important. When we're laughing, we're releasing serotonin, dopamine, those types of chemicals, which make it actually the learning environment inside the brain much more effective, much more conducive to learning. And I know that in coaching calls, sometimes the energy can be quite heavy when we come across some really real work that we need to do, which we do in this session. And all of those pieces will be released in later videos. So this first session is really about information gathering. I'm learning what is it that I need to do to help him get where he wants to be, which is being consistent in his lead gen, but I'm figuring out where's the real problem. And then in subsequent sessions, you'll see me flush out the resistance that he had to actually being consistent. And you'll also see I do a reimprint, which is another word for inner child work. And then we cultivate the new state of mind he's gonna be in when he is doing his webinars. And there's a very visible shift in him from the beginning of the session till after the session, when at the end, and you'll see this when I release the final video, they're cut up into about 10-minute segments. His physiology when he thinks about the webinars on day one is completely different than when we ask him about it at the end of the session. And we do a follow-up with him as well, and we find out that indeed he has been doing his webinars as a result of the 1-hour coaching session. How exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like part of your daily routine now. I've made it. I've officially made it, you know?
Yes.
Oh God. So I'm recording, by the way. Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what would you like, sir? How can I help you?
So what I would like to get help around is that the aspect where I feel, or rather I observe that I do a lot of planning part, I do a lot of learning part, but when it comes to execution, I find that I start, but I don't stay consistent, and I just, I would say, move out of that plan, all that planning that I do.
Okay.
And after a few days of working on the action plan, then suddenly I get distracted, or maybe something comes up. And this is a pattern, I would say, rather than as if there is something pressing that comes up and then only I leave. There could be many reasons which I will leave and then I start focusing on something else. and then again come back to the same action plan after some time. So by that time, I have lost momentum, lost lots of energy, and then there's lack of flow.
Lack of flow there. Sounds like a very consistent pattern for you.
Yeah.
So it's very consistent then.
Yes, very consistently. I am not working consistent.
Very consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
So what is it that you want?
So what I want is that to be consistent on my action plan, so that whatever I have learned or whatever I have, I intend to do, that I should be able to put it into execution.
Okay. So, would you, before we even assume that this is a mindset problem, could you share a little bit with me about what happens with regards to the things that you start and then you say you stop and then you start again? So let's say that it's a week from now. How would you know that this was successful? If, next week, we were showing up to your morning ritual again and you were to share with me that, things are going great. How would you know?
I would know that I am successful or I have been able to make a shift in myself is by the aspect that whatever action plan that I make according to my goal, which is to be in professional coaching within, as of now, I kept a target of by 11th October. So, and I had planned also. So, if I start working on that plan, and which includes creating content, going out and doing some webinars, or maybe speak out to people, reach out to people, and that will show that I am on track and I am taking action.
How clear is this goal? In other words, you're going to be a coach by October, what date was it?
11th.
October 11th. And what does that mean? So if you're a coach by October 11th, how will you know that you're a coach at that point? Is it number of clients or is it revenue? How will you know?
Yeah, so for revenue part, I had kept a target of from October 11th onwards, I will be getting enough clients to make $5,000 equivalent in Indian money
Great.
per month
Great.
initially.
Great. So that's the end goal. Yes?
Yeah.
And then the action items that you're claiming to be inconsistent on are making content.
Making content, doing webinars to create awareness or reach out to potential clients, and increase my presence on social media, and revisiting my concepts, and start doing some pro bono with my friends and people whom I know. So reaching out is one of the important aspects during these time before October.
Okay. And what's been stopping you from doing this?
What has been stopping me from doing is the aspect that at times I feel as if I still lack something in terms of the knowingness or skill which is required for me to be there. And one peculiar aspect is that when I start to visualize or vision for things to happen, I suddenly feel a kind of blockage in my head as if I can't see. It becomes so dark and dense that I can't visualize for the future. As soon as I fit, I start feeling like sleepy.
Oh, wow.
So whenever
This block is like a hypnotist.
yeah. So as soon as I think about future and how it would be like, and it's like something covers up and does not allow me to look beyond. And then it becomes boring and frustrating, then I leave.
Okay. I got it. Okay. So dark and dense. So pretend I'm you, right? And I go to think about my future. Yeah. And is this dark and dense thing, is this just when you think about your future? Or is it also when you're going to reach out to people? Or is that a separate issue?
Uh, when I think about reaching out to people, uh, there is this sense of I would say I'm not good enough yet.
Yeah.
That comes up.
Okay. There's a sense, or you say that to yourself?
Oh, my inner dialogue is very strong. I am saying only.
Okay. All right. I am not good enough yet. It says I'm not good enough yet, or it says I am not good enough.
I'm not good enough.
Okay. And is there anything else that your internal dialogue says, or is it really just mainly that?
Mainly that.
Um, okay, well, let's say that you're able to overcome this, and for whatever reason, that block that had come up, it could start to come down. It may not today, but assuming that we discover the resistance and we
Yeah.
actually find a way to meet that need, if that block could start to come down today, and you could start to see your future, and maybe your internal dialogue becomes more positive, more helpful for you, and you're able to start reaching out more and being more consistent, ultimately, what will all of that do for you?
Ultimately, all of that will, what it will do for me is that I will start enjoying the process.
Start enjoying the process. I like that.
And
Yeah,
and apart from that, it will also help me be open to connect with people.
great, great. Open to connecting with people. And when you're enjoying the process, what does that do for you?
When I'm enjoying the process, it makes me kind of curious
Hmm.
to know about the people and deliver more. And then suddenly, what I find is that when I'm enjoying the process, it's not about me.
Yeah,
Then it becomes the person in picture with whom I am working or whom I am talking to.
totally. So it becomes about the other person. And when it's about the other person and you're curious and you get to deliver more, what do you get to feel when all of that's happening?
That sense of satisfaction and confidence.
Satisfaction and confidence. Confidence is interesting to me. So when you say confidence, what do you mean by confidence?
So when I say confidence, what it means is that I am not anymore bothered by what the outcome is.
Mhm.
I just straight away go and mm, practice, maybe whether it's a webinar or it's coaching. I just go and do it and play in the moment rather than thinking a lot about it, whether it will work out or not, or what I have to do to make it work out, kind of
So when you're
overcome it.
doing that, what are you feeling? So what are you feeling when that's happening?
So in that moment, it feels like I am connected within as well, so that I am aligned with my higher source
Hmm.
and
Connect.
yeah, and feel guided.
Beautiful. And so I like this connection piece. Have you done any work with connection yet? Have you transformed connected?
Yeah, earlier when I had worked with Damon around public speaking, then we had worked on connection was the strong part.
Are you a connecting person?
You. Uh, I don't connect with a lot of people, but
Hmm.
yeah, whenever it happens, with whomever I connect, it's a deeper connection.
Okay. Mm. As a person, if I ask you, are you a connecting person? Would you say yes, no, or sometimes?
I would say yes.
Great. When you think about reaching out to people and when you think about your webinars and your content, and doing your pro bono stuff, do you feel that you are connected to yourself when you in those examples?
I would say no.
Okay. All right. Um, good. So which one of these would you like to start with? The webinar, the reaching out to people, or the content, or which one would you like to change first?
First, I would like to do is around webinar, because uh, that will give me the sense of ease and confidence in the process.
Ease and confidence. Great. Okay. So we'll start with webinar. And you know your certain quality, right?
Yeah.